Hello, my name is Tesfaye. I am from the Tutorial Academy. This is a series of videos, lessons for English Oromo for communication purposes. I have another video series which you may have seen teaching Oromo in English, very deep lesson in another course. But many people asked for Oromo language for communication purposes. So based on that request, I prepared this course, which is composed of very short Oromo language phrases for communication purposes, so that you can learn easily and also practice how to communicate in Oromo. So the description is, as you can hear, is in English, and the translation will be English Oromo. Now we'll come to this series of English Oromo tutorials and Oromo for communication purposes. There are things that you have to know about the uniqueness of Oromo sounds, especially for those who speak English. There are English alphabets which are named differently and they used differently. For the majority of them, I say the use and the sound are as they are used in English, so there's no change for most of them. I discussed about every single sound in Oromo in another video, learning Oromo language in English. You can get from them, but here I summarize the most important sounds that you have to be aware of. One is C, as you can see here. In Afan Oromo, this is not C. C in Afan Oromo is just the S sound, the S letter. But C here is a sound cha. Cha. I don't know if you can say these three words are very tough for you. Cha. Here, as you can see, I wrote a name of a person, Chaltu. Chaltu. Don't be discouraged if you can't say it, but know that this is not cha, like church and so on. For cha, we use the exact English way, ch. This is not cha, but this is cha. The second one is q. For q, we don't use q to write like quality and so on. Q by itself has two sounds in it, ki and u. Q. We don't use like that. This Q is renamed in Oromo as ka. This is not ka, but it's ka. Ka. Kero. Here what is written, kero. Kero. Ka. That's a completely different sound and a different naming from English. The third one is X. X in Oromo can be written an X. Three sounds, X. But this X is translated into another sound that you don't know, is ta. Ta. Ta is not ta. Ta is written with T. This is ta. Ta-fi. Ta-te. These are the three challenges in identifying. Other than these three, all the single English alphabets are used in Oromo as having the same sound as they are. We will see some difference in vowel letters. B is D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, R, S, T, U, V, W, Y, Z. These all have the same sound as we use them in English. There are compound sounds that we have in English as well, like CH, GN. What else we have? I think most of them are there, but in Oromo we combine two sounds to have one sound as well, to get one sound. Here DH gives us the sound ah. That's very hard as well. Trust me, it's hard for many Ethiopians who doesn't speak Afan Oromo. Ah, that is specifically Oromo sound. Ah, ah, ah is not da. Ah, dia, dedi, nyadu. So they are not do. Nyadu is not nyadu. Nyadu. Try to practice those. Nyadu. That is DH. Okay, that's DH give us a e sound. Diha. Here is diha. Diha is west. Okay, the second one, which is GN, usually I don't know if that's in English, but in another Ethiopian language written, especially in Amharic, it is written like GN, but in Oromo it is NY. It's nye, nya, nyatu, nyara, nyonyo, nya. That's not difficult to sound because it is clear there. But it is not GN as in Amharic or any other language, but it is NY. The other sound is J or Ja. J or Ja. This is clear for Amharic speakers, but if you are English speaker, that's a different sound. Ja, ja, ja. Ja is a combination of Z and Y. Ja, as you can hear it clearly. Ja. So that is to write like Jantla, Rizraj. These are not Oromo words. Ja is not an Oromo sound, but if you want to write Amharic or any other language in Oromo literature, for example, or in Oromo academia, we have to have that sound. That's why we have that sound. Okay, these 6 are very challenging for you, and you have to know them and practice them. Practice makes you perfect. Other thing that we have to know is how to read. Just to give you a little hint to start up how I am writing and reading in this lesson, to give you an idea how Oromo writing and English writing, for example, are a little bit different, so that we can understand clearly. Dog, that's English. We write dog. We stay on do. That's why we have double O. Dog. That's one thing you see continuously in this video, that I have double consonants and double vowels sometimes. These are double vowels. I will show you at the bottom why we have double consonant as well. Bar. When we say bar in English, we write bar in Oromo like that. Bat, bat. But listen to but in English. That but in English is B, just one single A, but. Why? Because we stay short on B and short on T. Short means shorter time reading it, but. But is not the same as but. But we stay on B sound, ba. That's why we have a. That's we have double a. We call a. A is not A in Oromo. This is what I was saying. A is not in Oromo. It's always a sound. In English, it can assume O like in bold. They can assume A like in bad. They can assume any other sound in English. In Oromo, A or A is always A sound, no any other. Okay. E in English is always A sound. Is always A sound. Well, in English as well, it is mostly A sound. Bet, for example, A sound. But sometimes it has E sound, like beer, for example. In Oromo, it is always A sound. So E is A sound in Oromo. I have a good videos on this link if you follow up, and there are multiple videos on this. How we write different things, like for example language, this is how we write language. So there is no such as hidden sound in Oromo. There are no things that we should know by heart as we have to know by heart in English spelling. What we hear, we have the sound for it, we put that sound exactly. Like that, we have W here because we have language. That's why language. Okay. There's no hidden sound as in what in English. What we hear, what, it is what. Why double is T? Because it is deeper on T when C, so we're going to see it at the bottom. What? There is no what. In English it is what or what, but in Oromo it is what. What we hear, what we say is like that. Gauge, I already said gauge. The G sound in there, it is not, it is a G sound, so we use a G letter, not a Ga or G letter. That G letter is for Ga sounds, which is mostly in English, but J is for J or G sounds. English, I don't know even why English used E, that A sound there. I already said E sound assumes E sound, A sound, and so on. Here it actually assumes E sound in English. For E sound, we use I, not A. If I read that English in Oromo, it is English. It is not English. So E, I is E in Oromo. Mostly in English it is the same, but sometimes it takes Y sound. For example, in like, as you can see, me, we. So it could have a I sound as well. So that is how we read in Oromo. Me is not, that is me in Oromo. It's not me. Me. Then because A is there. M-A. That's me. We. It is not long even. I can't say we or me. If I have to say me, I have to have double E, or double E if I have to say we. So that is me. That is if I have to write, somebody ask, write me in Oromo, that's how I write. If it is English and me, it is in Oromo is M-double-I, or we call ma, E, wa, E. So here I like to introduce you that we don't call A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but we call Aba, Chada, Efa, Ga. That is specifically to tune to the way the Oromo language sounds. Okay, that's the only way to teach. Principally in Oromo language, the vowels are the only who have sounds. The consonants, they don't have single sound. Consonant doesn't have sound unless we have vowels beside them. But just to teach in the classroom, we give them ba, cha, da. Okay, then that's how we call them. To be clear, for example, if somebody in Amharic is called kabede, that's how it is out. It is called kabede. If that person is called in Oromo, we don't call kabede, but we call kabada. That's why this is a native Oromo speaker changes that the way that the sound, the language, as kind of a dialect to Oromo specific. That's why the alphabets also was named Abachada. Let's come to why consonants are double. We already said a little bit of that. Look at erase. When we say erase, listen to the sound R we create. Erase. It's a deep erase. It is not erase. It is not erase. It is erase. Erode. It is not erode. Erode. So we stay not long only, but we also stay longer, but we talk it deeper. It's called strong sound. Strong sound, erode, erase. There is more examples and more explanations about how to read and write Afan Oromo in this link. Maybe this is the first link to the first lesson, but after that you can follow up on other and videos to see more about how to read and write Afan Oromo. For this one, we continue on the content that I have shown you earlier, and that will be loaded continuously into this channel. So if you want to subscribe, please do and follow up. If you don't want to subscribe, just come on time and follow up on the videos. But I advise you to subscribe so that as soon as I upload the videos, you can get a notification as well. Thank you very much for listening. Cheers.